Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Are you guys feeling the same vibe on Bitcoin as Key Young Jew is? All right, take a look at these two charts, okay? We've got mid-2020, which is on the left, and now we have 2024, which is what we're currently in right now. And you can see, guys, look at new whales, okay? Forget about the trend in the price for a second. Just look at the purple new whales in 2020. And look at how many have accumulated, or did accumulate rather, back in 2020, in and around this point when we did see Bitcoin reach its new all-time high and then just breach that. And now, guys, look at 2024. We are in that same position, Bitcoin whales purchasing up Bitcoin, and the numbers are even bigger than they were back in 2020. If you look back to 2020, the height over here was about $600 million. Dollars in realized cap. And so right now we're looking at 100 billion in realized cap. So significantly more as the chart is moving to higher highs. Now, why this is significant, guys? Back then, Bitcoin hovered around $10,000 for 6 months with high on-chain activity, later revealed as OTC deals. Now, despite low price volatility, on-chain activity remains high with $1 billion added daily to new whale wallets, likely custody. This is big because, guys, this is institutional, likely institutional inflows flowing into Bitcoin. I've got Bitcoin up here on the weekly that I wanted to show you guys for a second. So that was in and around here when we did see the price basically top out to former all-time highs. That was in and around November 2020. Then we finally saw that pop to the upside. And now in 2024, we are seeing that same thing, right? Bitcoin did top up and around here. We did see it butt up against resistance, which is the all-time high for Bitcoin. It did surpass the all-time high, did dip down, and now we're butting up against that same resistance level. Today in 2024, though, there is something different. The new whales and the $100 billion compared to $600 million. So the trends are the same, but guys, the amount of money, the sheer amount of volume that's going into, the king asset class, which is Bitcoin, is going even higher. Today in the crypto market, 24-hour activity seems to be a mixed bag, red and green by and large. I mean, some coins are doing better than others. The market cap right now is at 2.5 trillion, so that's up by a little bit. 24-hour volume is down a little bit, not so big of a deal. Bitcoin dominance staying relatively stagnant. Greed hasn't moved too much either. So, again, we're not seeing the activity yet, but guys, it's coming around the corner. I just wanted to play you this clip too from the Crypto Sniper, Francis Hunt, and his assessment on the crypto space vis-a-vis Ethereum, okay, ready to surpass 20% dominance. And Ethereum is another key cryptocurrency indicator, I think, for broader market structure. Listen to this.
This particular chart is ETH dominance. We've been watching and had a couple of false dawns looking at it. This move really strongly up is very reminiscent of that move. So that gave us our first impulse, very strong. Then it was a long, winding, grinding road, a little bit up, eventually a little bit down. The longer that is, generally things happen a little bit quicker on the third. That means, I would guess, probably getting quite close to 20%, if not surpassing 20%, and then possibly going quiet, a little bit of chill, maybe even shed some percent again, but I would expect the third low to be a bit higher. So I think the moments of truth is coming whereby Ethereum moves a move that could take its dominance up to around the 28% mark. So I would shed Bitcoin holding, which is not to say Bitcoin won't have moments where it leads the chart, but I think Ethereum will be a lot quicker and Ethereum may be drifting up when Bitcoin is easing a little bit down in those nothing day markets where there's no real drivers. So ETH looking overall pretty damn good to be an overperformer during that period.
Ethereum being an overperformer during that period, but notice too what he said. When we do see Ethereum move, let me just bring up Ethereum compared to Bitcoin. It is the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, and a very popular cryptocurrency. A lot of traders, who trade large cap cryptos tend to trade Ethereum. We've got the ETF news too, so that is going to also be quintessential to how this market moves in this bull run. And we're seeing dominance of Ethereum rise too. So in the past, I've talked about Ethereum breaching its all-time high. It did back in January of 2021, and that was basically when the altcoin market really did soar, bringing up the total 3 market cap here, January 2021. That would bring us in and around here. That was basically in and around here, guys. So the end of 2020 into 2021. And that was the lion's share. And this is the total 3 market cap. So let me remind you guys, total 3 is everything excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when Ethereum did hit its all-time high, that was the signal, that was the sign for the rest of the crypto market to go parabolic. So if Ethereum's going to go above 28% dominance, or could go above 28% dominance. This is the prediction from Francis Hunt. This could be another indication that we should be buckling up and getting ready. And if you guys are interested in what I'm trading this bull run, I just did a portfolio update, the $15,000 plus portfolio. Some coins are up. Some coins are still at very attractive price points. You can find all that at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It's basically just my trading journey this time around. I'm getting excited, guys, getting closer and closer to figuring out where my targets are going to be. And for all that up-to-date information, it is only $5 a month. Patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. This just into Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse predicts the U.S. approval of XRP, Solana, and Cardano ETFs. Okay, this coming from Good Morning Crypto here. Brad Garlinghouse did make a very bold statement at Consensus just the other day. More crypto exchange traded funds, he says, are coming following approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs and progress on ones designed to hold Ethereum's Ether, predicted the CEO of Ripple. And here is the quote: "I think it's just a matter of time, and it's inevitable. There's going to be an XRP ETF, there's going to be a Solana ETF, and there's going to be a Cardano ETF, and that's great," he said. So it is inevitable, guys, that we are going to see these cryptocurrencies see their own ETFs. Recently, Ethereum ETFs made abrupt and unprecedented progress, with key filings being approved by the SEC. Final approval, though, is needed before they can begin trading. Kathy Wood, the CEO of ARK Invest, also said during Consensus that these Ether ETFs were approved because crypto is now an election issue. It is getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the days and months go on. I would even venture to say days and weeks, because, you know, like that guy said the other day in that video clip, he was the former president of the NYSE. He basically said that, you know, we are getting 5 years worth of progress in 5 minutes. He likened it to, you know, this kind of concept that the crypto market has been waiting and waiting and waiting for so many years. And then boom, all of a sudden we are getting so much activity, you know, fast and furiously, scrambling to get regulations put in place and scrambling to approve ETFs, so on and so forth. And we're getting all of it very, very quickly. So, you know, that also goes to that bearable guy theme, the snowball effect. I know I saw a tweet regarding that, but I don't have the tab up here, unfortunately, but it's true. Garlinghouse said there will be a significant regulatory approval process before these are approved, but in the end, these will be speed bumps, okay? Garlinghouse also railed against what he perceived as the lack of regulatory clarity from Washington. And then this goes on to criticize Gary Gensler, of course. But guys, inevitable. XRP ETF, then there's going to be a Solana one, and also a Cardano ETF. So great news here from Good Morning Crypto. Wanted to thank him just for bringing attention to this. We know Brad Garlinghouse is very bold when he makes comments. To that point, here's a clip of Brad from just the other day at Consensus 2024.
It's just inevitable there's going to be more ETFs. Right? It's almost like saying, you know, when you first had the introduction of the stock exchange in the 1920s, if you only trade one stock, does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense. Like, look, there's got to be multiple ETFs. We now have a big approved ETH ETF. I think it's just a matter of time. It's inevitable. There's got to be an XRP ETF. There's got to be a Solana ETF. There's got to be a Cardano ETF.
Woo! Unfortunately, the audio from that clip wasn't great, but I think you guys get the gist. You know, we don't trade one stock, right? We trade multiple stocks. That's when, you know, he likens it to the stock market of the 1920s. Why would we only have one crypto ETF? It doesn't make any sense. So, you know, these are all going to roll out in due time. And so I'm thinking we are going to see, you know, a lot of this hopefully roll out once we see crypto adoption really take off. And again, you know, if we're looking at the 4-year cycle time frame, we're going to see this occur late 2024 into 2025. I guess I should go back just briefly and discuss price. At this particular point in time, Bitcoin is up and down. I mean, still moving sideways pretty much. A price of one Bitcoin is currently going for about 68,200 though, but it has been up to about 69.5 and then down to 67.2, give or take. XRP right now, as of the time of this recording, not too much movement on the XRP chart. Unfortunately, we have been vacillating up and down in the 50s right now, and XRP is going just shy of 52 cents at about 0.519. SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce has floated the idea of a joint crypto regulatory sandbox for the US and the UK. This coming from XRP Crypto Wolf. So this is what Crypto Mom proposes. Her proposal would allow firms in these jurisdictions under the same regulatory activities. This would actually be, I think, pretty beneficial for the United States, considering the UK already has a pretty solid framework for cryptocurrency adoption. I mean, if we decided to adopt similar crypto rules to the UK. Maybe that could spur on a little bit more activity and a little bit more confidence to finally hammer down on a final set of rules. Well, Purse has noted that sandboxes have shown their efficiency when it comes to enabling innovation in sectors with stringent regulations. She has pointed to the fact that disruptive firms are more likely to attract capital if they are part of a sandbox. So, if you show, I guess, that you are actively working in the industry and actively trying to test out the technology, this bodes well for the companies. It bodes well for, regulators. Everybody sees, it's a win-win, basically. Everybody sees the benefit, or can in fact see the benefit, or at least see a path to the finalized solution there. Moreover, the crypto-friendly commissioner has stated that sandbox help increase the level of efficiency in cryptocurrency regulation. She has proposed an information sharing agreement between the two jurisdictions that would allow the regulators to gain a better understanding of crypto market activities. Finally, Purse has also pointed out that such initiatives would be beneficial to customers and investors, since sandboxes make it possible for them to gain access to innovative products and services. I don't see why this would be a bad thing. Don't know if the US would, be kind to this. I just get the sense that, in the United States, it's our way or the highway. And I don't know. I mean, looking to other countries for regulatory clarity, I don't know. I just don't feel like it'll happen. But I don't know, maybe that's just me being a bit of a negative Nancy. Mike Manfield here pointing this out. The disrespect towards John Deaton just goes to show you how much of a mouthpiece Chuck Kane is for Senator Warren. This is disgusting. I was noticing this. John Deaton's gaining popularity in the polls. He's probably done more for the little guy than these two put together, says Mike. Vote Deaton for Senate and make a real difference. Now, he was commenting on Eleanor Turret's tweet here. New Massachusetts GOP Senate candidate Chuck Kane, who is Ian Kane, has challenged John Deaton to a series of debates ahead of the September primary. In his initial letter to the Deaton campaign, Kane incorrectly referred to himself as a Republican for state representative instead of a Republican for U.S. Senate. The signature has since been fixed, but Deaton's campaign manager, Mike Gorecki, has to say this in response. We're happy to have a conversation with Mr. Kane about possible debates. Once he proves himself a credible candidate with a serious campaign, he has a long way to go in that regard. And here is the tweet from Ian Kane. I've heard enough from Deaton for Senate. This guy's an ambulance chasing lawyer who lives in Rhode Island. He is moving here just to go viral for running against Elizabeth Warren. His ignorance on the issues and problems our state faces is stunning. It's time to debate on these issues. Well, I gotta say, Chip from On the Chain down here bringing up some interesting information, and I've seen these photos before. I think, it was originally when Chip posted these. Time to rip the mask off Ian Kane and reveal him for the Democrat mole he really is. So very cozy pictures with Elizabeth Warren here and President Joe Biden. Chip gives a lot of detailed information here about certain dates, just kind of going along, outlining his past recent political contributions to a whole bunch of Democrats, and the fact that he was once registered as a Democrat. It just doesn't bode well, and I don't think that the Republican voters are going to be fooled by this. Anyway, guys, Deaton for Senate. This is the only way we're going to be able to beat Elizabeth Warren. There are so many issues that are riddling our community, whether that's locally or more broadly. Nevertheless, wanted to thank Mike for posting that, Eleanor Turret, and Chip, of course. Now, did you guys get this warning? I don't know if you guys are still using Coinbase. If you are, again, I don't know how many warnings I have to keep putting out there. Coinbase strikes again from Bitfinex here, guys. Crypto sends restricted. So if you're using Coinbase, you might want to log in and just to see, as a precautionary measure to protect you against potential loss. So this is the first time now that I've seen a warning here suggesting that your funds were not safe. We have limited your ability to send crypto until July 28th, 2024. Please try again after this date. So for more information, you can click. This is just a screen grab, so you cannot click. But, this is something that me personally, I would not want to see when I logged into my Coinbase account. This is why I keep my crypto safe on a cold storage solution. I personally use the Ledger Nano, and I love the Ledger Nano for so many reasons. I do have an affiliate link in the description of the video. I have had one since 2017, but I keep urging you guys to do your own research. You can use my link if you want. You don't have to use it. I personally have never had problems with the Ledger Nano. At the end of the day, though, not your keys, not your crypto. If you do not hold the keys to your custody solution, it's technically not yours. Anybody can steal custody of your crypto, like in this case, Coinbase saying, not able to trade until July 28th, which is like 2 months away. That is ridiculous. So just be mindful, guys. Keep your crypto safe. The bulls are not going to wait for you if you do not have access to your cryptocurrency. And, in the blink of an eye, these cryptocurrencies can, really just kind of shoot up to new highs. I mean, and think about this for a second. Okay, just think about this for a second. You don't have access to your cryptocurrency for 2 months. Back in mid-March 2017, XRP went from under a penny, and I'm just using this as an example because it just shows you how fast XRP can move specifically. And then, what was it, 2 months later? Yeah, pretty much to the day, 2 months later, give or take, XRP went from 0.006 to 36 cents. So you know what kind of an increase that was? That was in 2 months, okay? The same time period that Coinbase is saying you cannot move your crypto. Let's see, 36 minus 0.006 divided by 0.006 times 100, that is 5,900%, okay? 5,900%. So that was in the span of 2 months. Be mindful, guys, because this is no nonsense. You don't get a second shot at this. Flutterwave, guys, a Ripple partner, has come out stating this latest update. They've recently received a payment aggregator license from Mozambique. So Flutterwave really knocking it out of the park when it comes to African nations and African adoption when it comes to DLT and streamlining payments. Flutterwave, Africa's leading payment technology company, today announced it has received an approval in principle for its payment aggregator license from the Central Bank of Mozambique. This license enables Flutterwave to offer its comprehensive payment services within Mozambique and strengthen its operations in Southern African markets. So Flutterwave Ripple enabled, one of the first, I think it was the first African company that ever was Ripple enabled. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it was. Mozambique has a rapidly growing e-payment ecosystem, as we've been seeing, across Africa. All of Africa has been modernizing over the last decade. Recent reports project that the country's total digital transaction value will increase by over 15.28% over the next 4 years, resulting in a projected total amount of over $9 billion by 2028. This dynamic growth represents a significant opportunity for Flutterwave to contribute to the fast-growing financial landscape of the country. The expansion into Mozambique aligns with Flutterwave's strategic vision to deploying its infrastructural reach, multiple licenses, and network of global partnerships to make doing business in and expanding across Africa seamless for global enterprises worldwide. So here we have, guys, another Ripple-enabled gateway into another country in Africa. We've been seeing a lot of these Ripple partners do this in their respective countries, and some of the bigger, more successful ones have broadened out into other countries and continents. And so, I think this is what Ripple's plan was from the beginning, to get these smaller companies to latch on to DLT technology before it was popular, and for them to, take the time to expand and explore, build a solid customer base, make some profits, year over year, knock their competition out, and then slowly expand into other countries and other continents, all leveraging DLT technology and the Ripple platform. So we've been seeing this numerous times. This is just one example in Africa, but Neum has done it. Tranglo has done it. Flutterwave, of course. Thunes has done it. What other companies have done it? Just off the top of my head, I can't think of any more right now, but tons of companies are doing this. Lots based out of Asia, lots out of Europe and South America. So we are seeing this, and it's the same story again and again. But guys, this has been Ripple's plan, I think, from the beginning. Now, even Arthur Britto, from way back, 12 years ago, Arthur Britto did state this. Now, 12 years would bring us to what, 2012, when Ripple was initially introduced into the world. Arthur Britto, one of the architects of the XRP ledger, is still nowhere to be found in 2023. This one coming from Ido Farina. Very odd considering the social media era. However, he made the following predictions years ago. In the future, these three complementary technologies will merge. So he was saying that Bitcoin was going to merge with open transactions and Ripple's XRP. Now, I don't know if this goes to a bigger conspiracy. Naming Bitcoin in here, or maybe it was just because Bitcoin was the biggest cryptocurrency and, there was so much promise for Bitcoin 12 years ago to be that payment provider. Of course, the technology has not really improved over the last 12 years. But here's what Ido points out here, concluding XRP will allow people to enter the cryptocurrency milieu without needing to use an exchange. Well, a DEX, that's built into the XRP ledger. A lot of people don't really know that. Here's what Arthur Britto said way back then, 12 years ago. In the future, these three complementary technologies will merge: Bitcoin, open transactions, and Ripple. Open transactions will gateway our current blockchain Bitcoins in and out of open transaction Bitcoins. Open transaction Bitcoin will allow people to have instant anonymous transactions off the blockchain. This will solve an aspect of Bitcoin's scalability. Open transactions will also allow transactions using contracts and other currencies, and Ripple will allow people to enter the cryptocurrency milieu without needing to use an exchange. So focusing specifically on the fact that the XRP ledger is a decentralized exchange, but also toying with this idea that, Bitcoin is going to be a currency that people will be able to transact in. I mean, fast forward to today, and, as Brad Garlinghouse says, cryptocurrency is becoming more prominent, and so this is why we're going to get more ETFs. It's not just going to be Bitcoin, but Bitcoin was that major one to open the doors. And the next wave of crypto adoption is right on our doorstep. Here's another clip of Brad Garlinghouse discussing USDC and USDT from Consensus this past week. Listen to this.
The second thing, and one of the catalysts, and I haven't talked to this publicly, but one of the catalysts to leaning in for Ripple was when USDC depegged last spring, 14 months ago. Circle stepped in and said, hey, we'll stand in that gap. It went down to 93 cents, and Circle said, we guarantee $1. And USDC didn't move. Now, it's partly because I think Circle doesn't have a big balance sheet. Had Ripple said that at the same time, I think you would have seen USDC regain its peg, because Ripple has $20-30 billion of balance sheet behind it, which I think would have been a positive thing. So, look, I think USDC is going to continue to be very successful. I think the Ripple stablecoin, which we haven't really announced the name around yet, but I'm very optimistic. There's a lot of market share there. There's a lot of growth, and so I'm excited.
The stablecoin is just the next logical step. So could it be that 12 years ago, maybe Arthur Britto had an idea of how payments were going to be transferred, but now 12 years later in 2024, we're seeing a clearer picture that is involving stablecoins, but isn't neglecting the XRP cryptocurrency. These two are going to work hand in hand to provide valuable payments for the world. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.